Good afternoon, children. Today we are going to learn proteins. Proteins are most abundant biomolecules in all living organisms. Protein is derived from a Greek word proteus. Proteus meaning primary or holding first place. Okay, so protein derived from Greek word proteus. That means primary or holding first place. Proteins are main functional units of living things. Proteins are main functional units for the living things. The proteins are involved in every function of the cell, including respiration. Proteins are polymers of alpha amino acid. Okay, proteins are polymers of alpha amino acid. Next, let me learn amino acids. Amino acids are compounds which contain amino group and the carboxylic group. Okay, in the word amino acid. So amino means it contain amino group. Acid means it containing carboxylic group. Okay, so amino acids are compounds which contain amino group and the carboxyl group. The protein molecules are made up of alpha amino acid. Protein molecules are made up of alpha amino acid, which can be represented by the general formula RCHNH2COOH. So this carbon above star symbol is there. That is that carbon is a chiral carbon. The carbon linked with four different groups. Okay, carbon linked with four different groups. That carbon is a chiral carbon. This is the structure of alpha amino acid. Okay, so there are 20 alpha amino acid commonly found in protein molecule. Okay, so protein molecule contain 20 alpha amino acid. Each amino acid is given in a trivial name, 3-letter code and 1-letter code. Okay, so amino acid represented by trivial name. Trivial name is 3-letter word. For example, amino acid example is glycine. That glycine represented by 3-letter word GLY. Another one amino acid. So 20 alpha amino acids are there. Okay, so one is glycine. Another one is alanine. Alanine, how we will represent? First 3-letter ALA. Okay. In writing the amino acid sequence of a protein, generally either 1-letter or 3-letter code is used. Amino acid writing time we will use 1-letter code or 3-letter code. We can use the first letter alone or first 3-letter. Okay. So next let me learn classification of alpha amino acid. Okay. So amino acids are classified on the nature of their R groups, commonly known as side chain. Okay, so they can be classified as acidic amino acid, basic amino acid, neutral amino acid. Okay, so on the basis of nature of their R groups, alkyl groups, alpha amino acid is classified into 3 types. One is acidic amino acid, second one is a basic amino acid, third one is a neutral amino acid. They can also be classified as polar and non-polar amino acid. Amino acid also classified into 2 types, that is polar and non-polar amino acid. See here the structure of amino acid. We studied 20 alpha amino acids commonly found in the protein molecule. See, the first one is a glycine. Okay, so glycine, the first 3-letter code is a GLY. So amino acid shortly represent 3-letter code GLY. GLY means that is amino acid glycine. So here R group, that R is a glycine, we will represent GLY. Okay, that is code. Then this R group, that is color coded side chain. Okay, so the second one is a alanine. Alanine, that code is ALA. Okay, each amino acid containing NH2 group find COOH group. NH2 means amino group find COOH group, carboxylic group. Okay, so third one is a valine. Okay, so the code is VAL. Okay, so these all the amino acids. Amino acids can also be classified as essential amino acid and non-essential amino acid based on the ability to be synthesized by the human. Okay, so first we studied amino acids are classified into three types: acidic, basic, neutral amino acid. That is on the basis of nature of R group. Then again that alpha amino acid, another classification is polar amino acid and non-polar amino acid. Now we studied classification is essential amino acid and non-essential amino acid. This classification based on the ability to be synthesized by the human. The amino acid then that can be synthesized by us. Okay, that means humans. The amino acid that can be synthesized by us, that are called non-essential amino acid. Example: glycine, alanine, then GLU code. Okay, ASP as aspartic acid. Okay, then GLN glutamic acid, ASN, SER, these are example for non-essential amino acid. Then those needs to be obtained through diet. Okay, that amino acids needs to be obtained through diet, that are called essential amino acid. For example, VAL means valine. Okay, so the next PHE, THR, that is example for essential amino acids. The plant and animal proteins are formed by 20 alpha amino acid. One word question: plant and animal proteins are formed by dash amino acid, 20 alpha amino acids. Many other amino acids are also found in the cell. These amino acids are called non-protein amino acid. Non-protein amino acid means that amino acids are found in the cells. That is non-protein amino acid. Example for non-protein amino acid are ornithine and citrulline. The next, let me learn properties of amino acid. So amino acids are colorless, no color. Water soluble crystalline solid. Amino acids are water soluble. It is a crystalline solid. Amino acid have both carboxyl group and amino group. So their properties differ from regular amines and carboxylic acids. Okay, it is entirely differ from the amine group and carboxyl group, because amino acid containing both groups, amine and carboxylic acid. The carboxyl group can lose a proton and become negatively charged. Okay, carboxylic acid lost proton means, for example, carboxylic acid is a COOH. It lost electron means it will form COO minus. Carboxylic group can lose proton. Carboxyl group means COOH. Carboxylic group lost the electron means it will form a negative charge, COO minus. Then amino group can accept a proton. Amino group NH2 COOH lost the electron. That hydrogen accepting that amino group, the amino group is converted into cation NH3 plus. So this negative and positively charged depend upon the pH of the solution. Specific pH, the net charge of the amino acid is neutral and the pH is called isoelectric point. Okay, specific pH, the net charge of the amino acid is neutral and this pH is called isoelectric point. At pH above the isoelectric point, the amino acid will be negatively charged. Then positively charged pH value below the isoelectric point. Okay. So next, in aqueous solution, the protein from carboxyl group can be transferred to the amino group of the amino acid, leaving these groups with the opposite charges. Despite having both positive and negative charges, this molecule is neutral and has amphoteric behavior. So in aqueous solution, the proton from carboxyl group can be transferred to the amino group. An amino acid leaving these groups with the opposite charges. Okay, so see the structure. So here this NH2 group accept one proton, so NH3 plus. Okay, COOH CHR, so it is accept H plus ion, so it is a pH is acidic, net charge is positive 1. Then second one is a Switter ion. Switter ion means neutral pH. It contains positive and negative. One positive and one negative is there. So it is a neutral pH. Net charge is 0. Then alkaline pH medium. Here alkaline means removal of H plus ion. So it is a alkaline medium. So COO minus. The net charge is minus 1. Except glycine, all other amino acids have at least one chiral carbon atom. Except glycine, remaining on at least have one chiral carbon atom and hence are optically active. That means plain polarized light. They exist in two forms, namely D and L amino acid. D means we know that is dextrorotatory. L means levorotatory. L amino acid are used in predominantly by living organism for synthesizing a protein. Presence of D amino acid has been observed rarely in certain organisms. Next, let me learn peptide bond formation. The amino acids are linked covalently by peptide bond. Okay, important one word, amino acids are linked covalently by peptide bonds. So last class we studied polysaccharides. Polysaccharides means large number of monosaccharides. That large number of monosaccharides are linked by glycosidic linkage. But here amino acids are linked by peptide bond. The carboxyl group of the first amino acid react with the amino group of the second amino acid to give an amide linkage. Amide means CONH, to form an amide linkage between amino acid. This amide linkage is called peptide bond. That amide linkage is called peptide bond. The resulting compound is called a dipeptide. Two amino acid joined means that is dipeptide. 3 amino acid means tripeptide. 4 amino acid tetrapeptide. 5 amino acids pentapeptide bond. Okay. More number of amino acids linked by polypeptide bond. If the number of acids are less, it is called polypeptide bond. It linked by polypeptide bond. It has large number of amino acids. It is called protein. Okay. So see the equation. Amino acid glycine, alanine. So glycine reacted with alanine. At that time it will replace the water molecule. So here that OH and this H removing the water. Okay. So here OH removed. OH removed. So remaining what is there? NH2, CH2, CO is there. Okay. Here one remaining that OH and NH2 one hydrogen combined to form water. The next what is there? NH. NH, then CH, CH2, COOH. The CONH between that bond is a peptide bond. See the structure C and N between that bond is called a peptide bond. Okay. So the amino end of the peptide is known as N terminal. Amino end means this NH, that is N terminal. Carboxylic end is called C terminal. In general, protein sequence are written from N terminal to C terminal. Protein sequence they will write from N to C. The atoms other than the side chain are called main chain or backbone of the polypeptide. Next, let me learn classification of proteins. Proteins are classified based on their structure. It is classified into two major types. One is fibrous protein, another one is globular proteins. Fibrous proteins are linear molecules similar to fiber. Okay, fibrous is a linear straight chain, linear molecule. These are generally insoluble in water. Fibers are insoluble in water. Fibers are held together by disulfide bridges. Okay, so that fibrous proteins are held together by disulfide bridges and weak intermolecular hydrogen bond. The proteins are often used as structural proteins. Example, keratin, collagen. Second type is a globular proteins. Globular proteins have an overall spherical shape. Okay, here each one that is spherical shape. The polypeptide chain is folded into spherical shape. These proteins are usually soluble in water and have many functions including catalysis. It is used as a catalysis enzyme purpose. Okay, example, myoglobin. Next, let me learn structure of proteins. Proteins are polymers of amino acid. Okay, so that three-dimensional structure depends mainly on sequence of amino acid. The protein structure can be described at 4 hierarchical levels called primary protein, secondary protein, tertiary protein and quaternary structures. Okay, proteins are polymer of amino acid. So three-dimensional structure, proteins are three-dimensional structure, depends mainly on the sequence of amino acid. Okay, so that amino proteins divided into structure divided into four types: primary structure, secondary structure, tertiary structure, quaternary structure. First let me learn primary structure of proteins. We know proteins are polypeptide chains. The proteins are made up of amino acids. That amino acids are connected through peptide bond. The relative arrangement of the amino acid in the polypeptide chain is called the primary structure of the protein. Okay, so the relative arrangement of the amino acid in the polypeptide chain is called the primary structure of the protein. See here that amino acids are given. These are proteins. That means glycine. Glycine containing NH2 group. Next amino acid is MET. That code, okay, code letter is there. PHC, another amino acid CYS, or every amino acid containing NH2 group and COOH group. Next one is a secondary structure of protein. The amino acids in the polypeptide chain form highly regular shape through the hydrogen bond between carbonyl oxygen. Okay, and the neighboring amine hydrogen. Okay, it bond with carbonyl oxygen. That means peptide linkage means C double bond O, C bond with N, NH. Okay, so CO and NH is the main chain. Alpha calyx and beta strands or sheet are two most common substructure formed by protein. Secondary structure containing substructures. Okay, so alpha calyx and beta strand. Alpha calyx. Okay, see the diagram. This is a alpha calyx. So alpha calyx structure, the amino acids are arranged in a right-handed helical structure. Amino acids are arranged in the right-handed helical structure and are stabilized by the hydrogen bond between the carbonyl oxygen of one amino acid with the amino hydrogen of the fifth residue. Okay, first one is a N. It is joined with the amino group of fifth one. Okay, so N plus fourth residue. The side chain of the residue is produced outside of the calyx. So the amino acid proline produces a king in the helical structure and often is called as calyx breaker due to its rigid cyclic structure. Second substructure is a beta strand. Beta strand are extended peptide chain rather than coiled. This is the beta structure. Okay, so there hydrogen bond occur between main chain carbonyl group one such strand to the amino group of the adjacent strand. Okay, so here that hydrogen bond is there. So that dot structure represents the hydrogen bond between oxygen and hydrogen. So this arrangement is called beta sheet. Okay, this arrangement of these amino acids are called beta sheet. Next one is a tertiary structure. The secondary structure elements alpha calyx and beta sheet further fold to form three-dimensional arrangement. That structure is called tertiary structure of the polypeptide. Tertiary structure of proteins are stabilized by the interaction between the side chain of the amino acid. This interaction includes the disulfide bridges between cysteine residues, electrostatic, hydrophobic, hydrogen bond and van der Waals interaction. Okay, so the secondary structure alpha helix and beta sheet further fold that one. Okay, so to form a three-dimensional arrangement, that is tertiary structure. Okay, so the tertiary structure of proteins are stabilized by the interaction. What are the interaction is there here? Interaction include disulfide bridges. They form the disulfide bridges, cysteine residue, electrostatic force, hydrophobic, hydrogen bond and van der Waals interaction is there. Okay, then fourth is a quaternary structure. Some proteins are made up of more than one polypeptide chains. For example, the oxygen transporting protein hemoglobin contains 4 polypeptide chains, while DNA polymerase enzyme that make copies of DNA has 10 polypeptide chains. Okay, so that proteins are made up of more than one polypeptide. Example, the oxygen transporting protein, that is a quaternary structure, hemoglobin, contain 4 polypeptide chains. Then DNA polymerase enzyme that makes copies of DNA has 10 polypeptide chains. Okay, that DNA has 10 polypeptide chains. In these proteins, the individual polypeptide chains interact with each other to form multimeric structure, which are known as quaternary structure. The interaction that stabilize the tertiary structure also stabilize the quaternary structure. See the diagram. Primary structure, secondary structure calyx, tertiary structure polypeptide chains, then quaternary structure. Quaternary structure is a complex of protein molecule. In this diagram, how they are arranging the amino acids. Next, let me learn denaturation of proteins. Each protein has a unique three-dimensional structure formed by interactions such as disulfide bond, hydrogen bond, hydrophobic bond and electrostatic interaction. This interaction can be disturbed when the protein is exposed at a higher temperature. When interaction can dispose, the protein is exposed to higher temperature. Certain chemicals such as urea, alteration of pH, ionic strength, etc. It leads to the loss of three-dimensional structure partially or completely. The process of losing higher order structure without losing the primary structure, that is called denaturation. What is meant by denaturation? The process of losing its higher order structure without losing the primary structure, that is called denaturation. When a protein denatures, its biological function is also lost. Since the primary structure is intact, this process can be reversed in certain proteins. This can happen spontaneously upon restoring the original condition or with the help of special enzyme called separants. Proteins that help proteins to fold correctly. So denaturation, see the example. First one, prawn. Okay, so thermal denaturation. Okay, thermal means heating that substance, prawn. Okay, so here thermal denaturation will be there. Okay, so then second one is a In natively it will be egg. So thermal denaturation it will look like. Next, let we learn importance of proteins. Proteins are the functional units of living things and play a vital role in a biological process. All biochemical reactions occur in the living system are catalyzed by the catalytic proteins, that is called enzymes. Proteins such as keratin, collagen act as a structural backbones. Okay, proteins such as keratin and collagen act as a structural backbone. Proteins are used for transporting molecules. Example, hemoglobin, that are oxygen transporting organelles in the cell and control the movement of molecule in and out of the cell. Okay, proteins, it will control the movement of molecule in and out of the cell. Antibodies help the body to fight various diseases. Proteins are used as a messengers to coordinate many functions. Insulin and glucagon control the glucose level in the blood. Okay, insulin and glucagon control the glucose level in the blood. Proteins act as receptor that detect presence of certain signal molecules and activate the proper response. So protein is act as a receptors. Proteins are also used to store metals such as iron.